Hello my viewers, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Ezra. The US government led by President Donald Trump, they have decided to go after Museveni government and Muhonzi after they killed many Ugandans in the recent concluded elections. The US senators, they have decided to direct Donald Trump what to do against Museveni and his son Muhonzi. First of all, the US senators have called for the sanctions on Museveni's son Muhonzi after the disputed vote. What does the sanction to Uganda means? Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Ezra, and if you are watching me for the first time, please take your 1 or 2 seconds and subscribe. Because if you subscribe and turn on the notification bell, you will be granted a permission to get my videos, or you will be the first person to watch my videos when I upload them. Also, I humbly request that you share this video at least to more than 3 groups so that this information can reach to many viewers. Welcome. First of all, a senior US senator has called for sanctions against Uganda's Chief of Defense Forces, General Muhonzi as Washington released its security relationship with Kampala following a disputed elections. You know, American government, they are supporting democracy. They are against those people who kill their opponents. They are against those leaders who oppresses the opposition leaders. And now today, the US government have decided to go after Museveni. You know, in the recent days, Museveni was announced by the Electoral Commission, whereby he announced himself as the winner of the recent concluded elections. He will be leading Uganda for more than 40 years now. At least now I can say he's going for 45 years. And according to a document released by the US government today over the Ugandans at the Uganda's recent concluded election, the Trump administration says that Museveni's win is illegitimate, meaning he stole the election. I can say this. I quote from their document: Uganda is a key regional security partner to the United States, Rich said. Yet, its ruling regime prioritizes domestic control through political violences, abductions, imprisonment, intimidations of opponents, and the misuse of intimidations of opponents and the misuse of state resources to maintain its grip. Uganda is also linked to destabilizing regional activities, making the regime an increasingly problematic exporter of instability in southern Sudan. I'm quoting from what the US government have said. They continued that the Tanzania and the Uganda are moving along similar paths, raising serious concerns about what this portends for other countries with upcoming elections, including Ethiopia and Kenya. According to US government or the US government, it says that what has happened in Tanzania last year, October 2025, and what has happened in Uganda 2026 might be reflected to Kenya, or Kenya might copy what Uganda and Tanzania have done. And the US, they are worried because Tanzania started by butchering those who rejected Samia Suluhu's win. The same thing has repeated in Uganda, where a good number of Ugandans have been butchered, have been killed by Muhonzi Kainerugaba. And Muhonzi Kainerugaba has been bragging online, if you like Twitter or X, that he has managed to kill a good number of Bobi Wine supporters. And also he has arrested thousands of Bobi Wine supporters for rejecting Muhonzi Kainerugaba, for rejecting Museveni's win, Muhonzi Kainerugaba father. What does this document by US government today mean to Uganda? It means that Trump administration, they are watching very close what Uganda government is doing to their residents. Because the US has called, or they have said that Museveni's win is illegitimate. He declared himself as the winner of the recent election unconstitutionally. Because if you can see, there are some of the videos, there are several of videos online which shows how Museveni got those million of votes, which he says that he got. He instructed the agents of the electoral commission in Uganda to tick in favor of him the ballot papers. And this is what the US have said, that it is illegitimate. Also, what Trump does not like is someone who instigates violence in another country. As you have said, as you have heard, ladies and gentlemen, the way I told you earlier, according to the US document, which was released on Saturday, 24th January, it says that Museveni and his government has been instabilizing Southern Sudan, which is against undemocratic. They have said that Museveni prioritizes in abduction in Uganda to silence the opponents. Like now, the other day, Muhonzi bragged to have arrested thousands of Bobi Wine supporters. That is not arresting. That is abduction. Arrest is whereby someone is being taken to cell, and he or she must be presented to court before 24 hours ends. But now, those who were arrested in Uganda, they have been in cell or in jail for more than 10 days. That's abduction. That is not arrest, ladies and gentlemen. Also, the US government says that Museveni prioritizes in intimidations of opponents. Like now, have you seen Bobi Wine since the elections were concluded in Uganda? No. Why? Because Museveni's son, Muhonzi has been threatening Bobi Wine that if he catches him, he will kill him by himself, and also he will extract his balls after killing Bobi Wine. What is that, ladies and gentlemen? That is madness. And that is the reason as to why now American government have decided to call for sanctions against the Ugandan leaders, e.g. Museveni's son, Muhonzi and Museveni. Soon and very soon, the US government might come for Museveni. They might arrest Museveni because of these killings and abductions and intimidations and the political violence against the opposition leaders. You know, Muhonzi has been bragging that he has managed to silence opposition leaders and opposition supporters in Uganda. That is not democratic. That is dictatorship. Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you. The way the US government led by Donald Trump, they managed to get the Venezuelan president, what makes you to think that they will not catch President Museveni? And that is the reason as to why when President Trump captured and kidnapped the Venezuelan president, Museveni was the first person to condemn that act, because he knows what he is doing in Uganda. Now, the US have called for sanctions against the Ugandan leaders. What does this mean? Number one, they are going to freeze all assets under these, all assets being held by these leaders, including Museveni and Museveni's son Muhonzi under the US jurisdiction. They might even close them. Number two, they are going to ban the travel of these leaders to US. Museveni might not even step his feet to US. Or he will step his feet in US after the US have been arrested him. I'm now begging Trump to come for this guy, because what he is doing in Uganda is very bad. They are butchering people. They are intimidating opposition leaders. They are threatening, they are abducting opposition supporters. And that is the reason as to why the US government have decided to go after Muhonzi and Museveni. What is your take, ladies and gentlemen? Do you support the US government document to Uganda that the recent concluded election is illegitimate, is null and void? Number two, the Ugandan government has been using intimidations, abductions to their opponents, and they must be sanctioned. What is your take, Ezra?